Hi everybody, welcome to Robo's House of Guitars. Today I'll be talking about the Jem 7V. This model is extremely to my heart and to my liking. I have 7 of these models, and I'll tell you why. First off, it's made of basswood, very stringent, very nice wood. If you're a woodworker, you know what I'm talking about. It's formed easily, it cuts well, and it's very extremely lightweight. Now we'll move on. Original Edge Tremolo system. Very, very cool. It's a beast as far as the tremolo is concerned. I have used this model particularly a long time, and I always go back to the Edge Tremolo system because it's always so reliable. It can be set up very easily. Oiling is not no process. It's not a problem. You got to make sure you tighten all these Allen bolts up so that way the saddle doesn't slip when you use the tremolo system. Moving on. Evolution pickups. Very, very hot, very specially wound, crispy, very bitey style pickup. It's also hooked up with the 5-way selector switch to get tonal values throughout the pickup settings. 500K pots for the volume and the tone. Very, very versatile guitar. I mean, you can just basically go in any direction you want to with the 5-way to get any kind of sound you want out of every guitar out there known to man. I like the body because it's cut very sleek and very slim. A lot of the beautiful body lines has basically designed the incredibility of this guitar. So the neck is set up to where it has an ebony fretboard with abalone and mother of pearl for the tree of life. Very thin, very fast, smoking kind of neck. It also has the last 4 frets have been scalloped because you can really grab a hold of the note. And also the bottom horn has been tubbed out for people with big hands like myself. And it really helps you to get up in there and really hit those notes and bring out the flavor to the crowd if you're playing in front of a live audience. So, yeah, I mean, with the addition of the monkey grip and the lion's claw, which so you can pull up on the tremolo system and bend the notes thirds, fifths, break strings. It can really go up that far. So it all depends on if you set it up floating, which I do. And also try to keep the bar with the fresh bushings on the end of the bar so that way the bar stays right about where you want it to be to do a lot of flavoring, trills, English, whatever. And you can also bend it back here and do some bounces and stuff like that. But I do like to keep the bar close at hand where I can utilize it and to my best of my abilities. So I have set up the guitar with a little extra features. I've thrown a customized truss rod cover on it and a little diamond right here. You can't really see that, but I put a diamond right there. And the tuners are from Japan, of course, and they are great tuning heads, machine heads. And on the back here I have put a Allen wrench key holder so that way I can basically make quick adjustments and do on the fly settings as far as when I go to a gig and I'm worried about something going to go out. I'll just keep those close at hand because it's so much easier to grab one of these than it was go backstage, grab the case, open it up, fidget around, try to find the multi-tool, bring it back, do your adjustments. I find it a lot easier just to go ahead and put 2 holes in your guitar, but to put the tuning holder for the Allen wrench keys holders right here, easy access. Also, I've equipped the guitar with a pick rail so that way in case I drop a pick during a gig or something like that, it's quick access and grab it and keep right on going. This is an amazing guitar. And I believe it is an '03, and like I said, it's made out of basswood, very light, and extremely good player. I set the action kind of low, not credit card low, but low enough to where I can get a smooth flow and a transaction, toward, keys and notes that I'm hitting. I don't do a lot of sweep picking and stuff like that. I'm more of a mopper, so to speak. But I pick every note, and sometimes I alternate picking and string skip and stuff like that to bring a flavor out in my style. And the Jem seems to follow suit along with everything I have to give it and dish out to it, and it gives it right back to me. So if you're thinking about purchasing a Jem 7V, I would highly recommend it. Play it first, check it out, and don't be so quick to look at the setup. As far as what the store has, because you're going to bring it home. You're going to do a setup on it yourself. You're probably going to change strings, but just kind of keep that in mind when you go to purchase an Ibanez Jem at a store. Don't look at the setup, because just think when you get it home, you're going to basically turn it into you. So I never really judge the guitar from the guitar store, all except for damage and stuff like that. So I will leave those back at the vendor. But the ones that I see a lot of potential in, I will bring those home and do setups on them, and change strings if needed. Polish and prepare the fretboard, condition it, do a crowning if possible, a truss rod adjustment. A lot of times the pickups are not set high or low enough to where I like them for a sustain level, this, that, and the other. I like to try to keep my bridge pickup kind of low, because the more you back it off, the more sustain you get. If you bring it clear up to where it's almost literally touching the frets, that to me is not a good idea, because you're going to get a lot of bleed. You're going to get a lot of string and pick attack to go through the pickups and interrupt your playing. So I back those off a little bit to make the playing rather clean and come across from what I want it to do. So, but I say with the extra addings, like the monkey grip and the lion's claw and stuff like that, is just, this guitar has had so much thought and preparation that's went into this model, that it's well worth every dime that they're asking. So if you can afford one, I would highly suggest going out and getting one. And I also am going to be doing a lot of reviews on the guitars that I have here at the house in the man cave. I've got a 20th anniversary acrylic I'm going to be doing a review on. I've got the new blue floral pattern review on that as well. I've got the old 1988 original floral pattern, which was supposedly, if I read correctly, the curtains off of Steve Vai's apartment windows was used to make this guitar, and there was a limited run of that because there was a limited amount of material for his windows. So some of them are made out of curtains. Now the 90s and on up has been used. They are going to a graphic there, but they're not the actual material. But my 88 is, and I will be doing a review on it. I've also got the floral pattern too, the black model with the Japanese style flowered design on it, and the tree of life is different on it as well. It has red areas to where the fretboard lights up, kind of like when it hits certain lights. But that is a review on the Jem 7V. I also point out I like the body line of them, how it's been cut and curved. It's just well thought out of. I call this guitar my intimidator, because when I pull it out, I seem to intimidate my rhythm player, which is all good. We get along great, and that's the most important thing, to be friends with who you're playing music with. The band will stay together a lot longer, and you'll have better results of writing material. Now, the locking nut is very stable. It's very secured. It is a rear mount, which I like, but you have a lot of problems with some hairline cracks developing around the bolt holes and things of that nature. I like the way they designed the string tree here. Japanese tuners are well made. They're constructed very well. Basically, like I say, this whole guitar has been thought of from the tip to the butt, and just designed the way Vai wanted it. And when he got with the people of Ibanez back in '87, he told them exactly what he wanted. So, and I believe that his neck on Evo is just a little bit different, and he has changed neck on that guitar, I'm thinking 4 to 5 times already now, because some of them break, some of them just get wore out by his bleeding fingers and things of that nature. But I am glad that Ibanez and Vai got together to produce this model and make available for the public, so that way we can go out and purchase one And if you are, like I say, thinking about purchasing one, I would go ahead and slap that money in the salesman's hand, take it home, and turn it into what you want it to be, if it's not close already from the factory or the store itself. Buying a used model can be good. It can be bad as well because whoever got it could have set it up wrong. They could have jacked up the truss rod and all that things, making the wrong adjustments is what I'm talking about basically. But sometimes a used guitar is good because the guitar player actually knows how to do a setup on it, and he's done some preparations to it. And so if you can find a used model, look it over really well. Probably going to be set up the way he liked it. So everybody's different. I mean, we all put our shoes on differently and we all dress differently, whatever. So the guitar is going to be different as well. So to your preference, to your liking, buy it, take it home, rock on it for a while, and then you'll decide what adjustments you'll need to make. But I have 7 of these, and I've been asked by several people why I buy the same exact kind of guitar 7 times over. Well, my opinion is I bought this one because it is close to the year manufacturing that Evo was made out of, and that really drew me to the guitar. I fell in love with it, the playability, the action, everything was set up pretty close to what I was used to anyway, and I've been playing Ibanez for 35 years now, so it's a reliable product for me, and I keep going back to it. I've had Les Pauls, I've had Kramers, Jacksons, Schecters, Deans, you name it, I've had it, and I keep going back to Ibanez. Not saying there is anything wrong with those models or makes, but to me, home is where the heart is, and that's where Ibanez is with me. It's my comfortable place. It's my comfy couch. It's my safe zone. It's something I know I can depend on. So I go back and I purchase these guitars time and time again. But my seven V's are made out of different woods. Some are made of basswood. Some are made of alder. I'm sorry, and some of them have different tremolo systems in them. Some of them have different woods that they've used for the fretboards. The tuning keys may be different, this, that, and the other. Some may have a front route net. Some might have a rear route nut. So I go at that like every one of them is different. Just because they're all white does not mean they're the same exact guitar. Every one of those models are different as far as years, body styles, the make of the wood, the fretboards, the tremolo system, everything. I've even got a few of them set different tunings too. Drop D, 430. I've got some of them that I keep floating. I got some of them that I basically rear back on, and I keep them kind of tucked in the cavity a little bit. I have some of them that I have the adjustment of the pickups to be different. All different tones, all different sounds, and each one of them has their own voice, their own characteristic, so to speak. But that's why I keep going back to the 7V. I've had over 20 gems here at the house, so I will be doing a review on all of those. And so stay tuned in the page. And again, welcome to Robo's House of Guitars, and leave your comments at the bottom and any suggestions you may have or whatever to make the page better for you as a learner, or just an informative style setup to where you can get information on the guitar that you have purchased or thinking about purchasing. So there you have it, and feel free to comment and leave some remarks, and if you have any questions, I'll try to get back to you. And have a great day, and thanks again for joining me. Peace.